shooting suspect. Good evening, everyone. Thanks so much for being with us tonight. I'm Niki Weirich. Fox's Garrett Tenney has the latest now in tonight's top story.
God works in mysterious ways. You would never, it's just unbelievable, unbelievable.
A dramatic rescue in Ohio. Police found Amanda Berry, Gina DeJesus, and Michelle Knight at a Cleveland home after this frantic 911 call.
Help me, I'm Amanda Berry. I've been kidnapped and I've been missing for 10 years and I'm here, I'm free now.
Investigators saying the victims were held captive in the house since their teens or early 20s. This picture shows Amanda hugging her sister at a hospital after finally being reunited with her family. Authorities also found a 6-year-old girl in the house who's believed to be Amanda's daughter.
It's just kind of strange that you see a little girl out of the attic window. That's the only window that gets opened in the house, is the attic window.
Police arrested 3 brothers. The suspects identified as 50-year-old O'Neill Castro, 52-year-old Ariel Castro, and 54-year-old Pedro Castro. Their uncle speaking about the incident.
Well, there's 2 ways to the story. I'm happy because the girls were found, and I'm sorry because the damage was done by a member of my family.
Meanwhile, some neighbors say police may have missed earlier opportunities to find the women when they were called to the house in recent years.
The old people that live in that building up there, they got a perfect view of his backyard. They reported that there's 3 guys in the backyard with girls, butt-naked girls, doing bodily harm to them. What the cops do, they'll come by and look, you know what I'm saying? And they keep on going. This could have been prevented like 2 years ago.
The victims are reportedly in good health and they were released from the hospital after being reunited with their families. In Cleveland, Ohio, Garrett Tenney, Fox News.
That news out of Cleveland, renewing hope for others with lost children. Fox 21's Abby Burke joins us live in the studio now with more on that story. Abby?
Nikki, Christopher Abeda was 7 months old when he disappeared from his home in Colorado Springs back in 1986. This July will be 27 years that he's been missing, but his family hasn't given up hope that he'll be found. His parents said watching the news of the missing women being discovered was an emotional experience.
I was ecstatic. I was really anxious, happy. I felt a little guilty because I was feeling a little sad that it wasn't Christopher.
Christopher's parents' advice to others going through a similar situation was to not give up and get involved as much as possible. Anyone with any information is asked to call 1-800-THE-LOST. Nikki, back to you downtown.
All right, Abby, thanks so much for that report tonight. Colorado's largest mosque is not allowing the body of the Boston Marathon bomber to be buried in a Muslim cemetery. It's located near Denver. Officials from the Colorado Muslim Society say the founder of the organization made the offer on his own without approval from the community. They say they condemn the actions of Tamerlan Zarnaya, and it's up to family and Muslims in Boston to make burial arrangements. Lawyers for the Aurora Theater shooting suspect James Holmes changing his plea to not guilty by reason of insanity. Attorneys for Holmes say they plan to ask for the plea change at a hearing next week. A judge in the case previously entering a not guilty plea for Holmes. The judge must approve the insanity plea before Holmes can change his plea. Well, rain is heading our way. Terry has more in the next few hours now in the Fox Fastcast. And Terry, the wind really picking up down here.
And in some places, the rain is already here. Let's take a look at TrueView Doppler. There's Colorado right there. Plenty of moisture over the state. Some rain at the lower elevations, some of the very high elevations seeing snow. All part of the system. Center of it right now kind of moving slowly off to the east, moving into southwestern Utah. As that slides off to the east, we're going to see more rain. Snow over the higher elevations. And on the backside, a continuous rain probably through Thursday. So let's take a look at some warnings, watches, and advisories we have out there. Here's the winter weather that's going to affect us. These are in effect tonight through Thursday. The area in blue is a winter weather advisory, 3 to 6 inches of snow possible there. The area in red is a winter storm warning, 5 to 10 inches of snow possible there. So if you're trying to get over Vail, Monarch, or Wolf Creek Pass, this is going to present a problem tonight through Thursday. And flooding is a potential problem. We have a flash flood watch, which means flash flooding is possible Wednesday and Thursday. It includes almost all of El Paso and Teller counties, but basically what we're talking about is the Waldo Canyon burn area right in here, and some of the communities like Manitou Springs, Old Colorado City, up in through Mountain Shadows. Of course, the extreme western portions of Colorado Springs. Could be some tremendous amounts of runoff if we get some good amounts of rain, and that's a possibility with this storm. Now, what about this evening? Let's take a look at the Fastcast, and we could see some isolated showers out there at 7 o'clock, 59 and 69 your temperatures, 54 and 65 at 9, and by 11 o'clock, temperatures still on the mild side, basically in the 50s. So, little shower activity possible this evening. Yeah, you might want to take the umbrella with you. What happens over the next several days? We'll talk about that coming up in just about 7 minutes. Right now, back downtown. Nikki.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, Terry. The Colorado Springs Office of Emergency Management offering a flood risk meeting to Mountain Shadows residents. The meeting kicking off about 30 minutes ago at the Front Range Alliance Church. That's at 5210 Centennial Boulevard. It ends at 8. Officials say it will provide education and updated information on the increased flood risk in the Waldo Canyon burn scar. It will also include the city's plans to respond to flash flooding. Colorado State Patrol investigating a two-vehicle crash that killed 2. It happened near Falcon. Authorities say 24-year-old Joshua Presler was driving a tow truck and didn't stop at the stop sign. He hit 57-year-old Adolfo Navarrete and 51-year-old Pamela Navarrete. Both died at the scene. They were not wearing seatbelts. Presler was also not wearing his seatbelt. He suffered minor injuries. A memorial service is set for the 2 Fort Carson soldiers killed in Kuwait last week. Specialist Trinidad Santiago Jr. and Private First Class Charles McClure were both with the 4th ID. They were killed in a vehicle crash on May 2nd. The memorial service, by the way, is scheduled for Thursday, May 9th at 11 a.m. at Soldiers Memorial Chapel. The soldiers will be honored with the traditional roll call, a rifle squad salute, and a final tribute. Colorado Springs Mayor Steve Bach and his wife Susie unveiling a new plan tonight to help our city's homeless. Fox 21's Rachel Welty joins us live from the Hillside Community Center, where Bach is hosting a community meeting. Rachel?
Yeah, Nikki, this community meeting is about to get underway here. Now, here's what the Bachs envision for the city. A 24/7 campus for the local homeless population that includes emergency services, a medical and dental clinic. Let's see, papers are blowing here. Laundry facilities, showers, emergency housing, and a day center with job training and mental health services. Now, the Alpamar says it's ready to step in and provide some funding today, which has been named the Sunrise. Now, in the next few hours, Mayor Bach and his wife Susie will share their thoughts and concerns and, of course, ideas with locals who understandably have some concerns of their own, because this isn't the first time a project like this has been proposed. In the late 90s, a similar idea was suggested and rejected by residents. The mayor now with the city is issuing a request for proposal by the project manager and solicit local nonprofits to see if they would be able to provide some of their services. So a lot to talk about. 21 News at 9 o'clock. Reporting live at the Hillside Community Center, Rachel Welty, Fox 21 News.
Oh, we apologize for the quality of that live. Obviously pretty windy out there. We do have some good news for you tonight. A trio of owlets have been moved to a new home. They're now in the Ellicott Wildlife Rehabilitation Center. This after Colorado Parks and Wildlife officers removed them from a nest near a busy intersection in the Mountain Shadows neighborhood. Wildlife officials say they were concerned the owls would eventually jump out of the nest while learning to fly. Staff at the center will raise them for a few weeks until they can be released. A blast of thick ash from a volcanic eruption kills 5 people. We have more on that story, and Terry will have your forecast coming up after the break.
You are watching Fox 21 News at 6:30. Live from downtown Colorado Springs, this is Fox 21 News at 6:30.
A volcano in the Philippines erupts, sending rocks and ash into the sky and killing at least 5 climbers. More than a dozen climbers were trapped near the crater of the volcano. At least 7, part of a group of about 20 mountaineers, were injured. Some of them are in critical condition tonight. The sudden eruption caught the group by surprise. The climbers that were killed were struck by huge rocks. Terry?
Let's take a look at the temperatures out there right now. And it wasn't a bad day. Some mild temperatures. Still not too bad out there. Although temperatures range from the 50s into the 80s. 54 around Monument Hill. Still 81 in Lamar. 78 in La Junta. 69 Trinidad. 64 if you're in Colorado Springs. And 74, 10 degrees warmer in Pueblo. We'll take a look and see what's going on with our TrueView Doppler. And we are seeing mostly light showers out there. Maybe a little snow at the higher elevations. A couple of stronger cells. One down the extreme southeast portion of Baca County. And that storm right there moving out of Elbert County into Lincoln County. Fairly strong storm system sliding almost due east right now. So if you're just to the south of Hugo, this one's coming your direction. Some lightning and some thunder, and you could see brief heavy downpour out of that particular system. All right, let's back off a little bit. And most of the stronger storms are off to the north of us, up in and around the Denver area. Some strong storms just off to the northeast of the downtown area and off to the southeast. Those seem to be moving east and northeast. Again, you see some snow over the higher elevations. And as you saw earlier, there are some warnings and advisories in effect if you're heading to the western part of the state. Here's the way it looks on Future View overnight. We will see some rain and snow on the mountains. Future View says we'll see some sunshine in the early parts of the day, but watch what happens. Those clouds fill in very quickly. Showers and thunderstorms throughout much of the east. Rain and snow over the higher elevations through the day tomorrow. Overnight tomorrow night, more rain in the eastern part of the state, more snow over the higher elevations. So we could see some rain overnight tomorrow night. Then on Thursday, watch what happens. Again, more rain throughout much of the southeast part of the state. Some snow over the higher elevations. Late in the day, that starts to taper off and we start to clear out and dry up. But we're going to see rain tomorrow, possibly tomorrow night, and again on Thursday. That's why there's that flash flood watch in effect, particularly for the Waldo Canyon burn area and some of those surrounding communities. Do keep that in mind. We'll watch it closely for you. All right, let's take a look at that forecast for southern Colorado for tonight. Some isolated showers out there, possibly some thunder with some of those showers. 46 your low in Lamar, 40 in Trinidad, 42 Walsenburg, 46 Canyon City, some 30s there in Salida and Alamosa. Coming up for tomorrow, some showers and possibly some thunderstorms to go with it, and at the higher elevations, some snow. 64 your high in Canyon City, 64 in Walsenburg, 70s in La Junta and Lamar, likewise in Kit Carson and Springfield. In and around the Pikes Peak region, we'll look for a high temperature of 63 in Fountain and only 50s for you folks in Monument and Black Forest. Let's take a look at that forecast for Colorado Springs and Pueblo. Here's the way it looks. First off in the Springs, some isolated evening showers possible. Look for mostly cloudy skies other than that, and a low temperature of 42. For Pueblo, looking for a low temperature of 45. Again, an isolated shower possible. Coming up for tomorrow, mostly cloudy skies. Rain is likely in Colorado Springs, and it will be cooler. High temperature of 59 degrees is what we're expecting in the Springs and in Pueblo. Pretty good chance you'll see some showers also, a little bit on the cool side, a high temperature of 66 degrees. So some cooler air and a good chance of rain coming our way for tomorrow. What happens on Thursday and through the weekend? We'll talk about that later in the show. Right now we're headed back downtown. Nikki.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, Terry. Well, stick with us. We've got a Foxy Mom talking ways to go green in the community coming up next.
Sure, quick second so I can tuck this back in.
Go ahead and talk for me real quick.
Hello, I'm Karen Levier, and I'm a foxy mom. I'm so proud of my shirt. I wore it all the time, and I got grease splatters on it.
Oh, I thought you meant this shirt.
No, the foxy mom shirt. I'm
What's
sure you've seen
31?
them.
Well, joining us tonight for our Foxy Moms Go Green segment is Karen Levier. So first, thanks for coming in tonight.
Thank you.
So we're talking about compost bins. These are easy to pick up at Lowe's, Home Depot. I think Costco has them as well.
Yep.
There are so many different types, though. I know growing up, we had this huge wooden bin in the backyard, and it was our responsibility to take the banana peels and the eggshells and everything down and throw it in there. So it is a great idea to have. Tell folks at home, if they don't have one, why something like this is worth investing in.
Sure. This one is super simple. You can just throw everything in here and then turn it once a week easily, so it's much easier than taking that pitchfork out to your huge pallet
That was
yard
Dad's
and
job.
turning it. So this way moms and kids can do it too.
Because it's pretty easy to turn, right?
Yes,
I mean,
it is. Yep.
you have lids on both ends, obviously, and then you just, how many times are you supposed to turn it to get it all mixed up?
One time a week.
Just one time a week?
And there's turners inside even that kind of break it up a little.
Okay.
So it's built smart.
Very good. Well, you brought in some examples of what you can throw in a compost bin. I'm sure there are things that are not a good idea to put in. What are some of those, just maybe the most common things that people maybe think that they can put in, but is not a good idea to
Definitely not dairy.
Okay.
Definitely not meat.
Smells.
Right. It'll kind of go rancid in there. It'll attract pests and so forth. You don't want to put any animal products in there. No cat litter.
Right.
Sure.
And do they make these bear proof? I mean, like, is this something you put outside, or is this something you keep in a garage, or like where would you store something like this?
Well, you want to pick a site that's in partial shade and kind of protected from the wind. As for bear proof, I'm not sure, but the lid is kind of hard, like not really hard, but you have to twist it and pull, kind of like a child-proof cap on top of medicine. So I think it'd be
So what all did you bring in that we can put in the compost bin?
There's two different types of materials that you can put in there, browns and greens. You want to have more browns to greens, so 3 parts brown to 1 part green. So some of the browns include things like twigs, dry grass, dry plants, straw, sawdust. You can even use a little bit of paper with no ink in it in case you have some extra things like that. You can put in some coffee filters, tea bags with the bags still there, or just tea leaves. Those are browns.
And we have to mention real quickly too, the only reason you're putting Ziploc bags in there is because it's not fully put together. So just so you folks know at home, you don't have to put your items in Ziploc. Or you shouldn't put your items in a Ziploc bag.
I don't think it'll
just want to make sure so we didn't look like we were giving bad information there. But thanks so much for coming in tonight. We appreciate it. And if you would like to submit your green living tips for a chance to share them live, go to our website, fox21news.com, and click on the Foxy Moms link near the top of the page. We're back after the break.
Where are you away? Sorry, I finished helping you.
It's all good. Making news across America tonight, an annual Pentagon report revealing sexual assaults in the military are up. This comes as Jeffrey Krasinski is facing battery charges after allegedly groping a woman. He's the chief officer of the Sexual Assault and Prevention Office within the Air Force at the Pentagon. The Senate Armed Forces Committee discussed the issue during a hearing today.
This man is charged with the responsibility of preventing and reporting sexual assault in the military, in the Air Force. And just this last weekend, he was charged with sexually assaulting a woman in a parking lot.
They say every Defense Department leader will be held accountable for preventing and responding to sexual assaults under their command. The driver of that limo that burst into flames in California over the weekend provides more details on what happened. 5 women died in the fire, including a bride who was looking forward to her upcoming wedding in the Philippines. Limo driver Orville Brown told authorities he stopped his car in the middle of the bridge. Within seconds, the entire car had burst into flames. Investigators say it will take several days to determine what caused that. Making business news tonight, one of the perks of online shopping may come to an end. A bill to stop tax-free shopping breezed through the Senate Monday and will now make its way to the House. Fox's Tracy Burns has the latest.
A bill sailed through the Senate yesterday that could end tax-free shopping online. But don't stop clicking just yet. The bill now heads to the House, where it is expected to face tough opposition. Under current law, states can only require retailers to collect sales tax if the store has a physical presence in the state. Now, the bill passed in the Senate would make it legal for states to force companies to collect sales taxes on internet purchases, but it would exempt businesses with less than $1 million in online sales. And one business owner says she still opposes the bill because it will hurt her company's future.
My issue is with my small business, and what would happen is my business would all of a sudden become compelled to decipher, remit, and collect taxes for different jurisdictions all over the country. So the primary focus of growing my business is all of a sudden out the back door.
The counter to this argument is that under the law, states must provide free computer software to help retailers calculate sales taxes based on where the shoppers live. But that might not be enough.
It would take my people and myself into a territory that we're not completely familiar with or comfortable with. It opens us up to liability. It opens us up to audits because we do not have the expertise, and I'm not convinced that the software is the complete solution for it.
The bill passed in the Senate 67-29. Now it's off to the House, where according to House Judiciary Committee Chair Bob Goodlatte, the bill appears to be stalling. In New York, I'm Tracy Burns.
Well, stick with us, Terry. We'll have a week's worth of weather coming up next.
Let's take a look at a week's worth of weather, and we have a chance of rain starting tomorrow and running right through Saturday. Best chance, though, is tomorrow and on Thursday. Could see some good amounts of rain. Temperatures in the 50s the next couple of days. We get into the 60s on Friday and Saturday, and look at Mother's Day. We're right around 70 degrees in Pueblo. Chance of those showers. 60s for a couple of days. There's a matter of fact through Saturday. Then we get into the 70s and some 80s by early next week. That wraps up the 6 o'clock, 6:30 show. We'll see you at 9. Hey, Sam, Ian's bitching and griping again about the topicals.